A boy with long black curls falling into his bespectacled eyes sat at the fountain's edge, swinging his feet. Evan sent a quick text. I see you. The boy checked his phone. Reading Evan's message, Angelo grinned and jumped up from the fountain, waving in the other boy's direction. Hey, stranger. Hi. Took you 12 minutes. That's pushing it, isn't it? Hey, I did my best. Brought your car? Of course, genius. Whose cars would have I bought? He put his arm around Evan's waist, pulling him in gently towards the parking lot, laughing. Where are we going? Somewhere. The diner, maybe? Downtown? 20 minutes later, they were sitting in a shiny red booth on the same side of the table, rather than across from each other. It was a stupid and cheesy thing to do. Evan knew, but he enjoyed it. Besides, this way he could put his feet up. And then he pulled his phone out and he said, "You want to see the video I took during the service?" What, your crazy pastor again? You bet your life. I swear he gets more and more certifiable by the week. I don't know why we even let him speak anymore. What was he saying this time? Oh, just that demons are gonna rise up out of hell and tear us limb from limb. You're kidding, right? He wouldn't actually say that. Oh, he would. I might have provoked him. Prove it. Show me the video. Evan played the video, which showed nothing, but there was no need for visuals. The audio was a minefield of unintended humor all on its own. The boys couldn't stop laughing. Well, I'm glad you got away from that. Yeah, me too. Parents are gonna kill you for sneaking away. I know. What are you gonna tell them? I'll tell them I was with you, I guess. You've told them? Well, I might have told them your name was Angela. Ah, gotcha. They finished their meal around the time Mr. and Mrs. Harding would be getting out of church, 6 p.m. The air was beginning to cool, and neither boy was in any kind of rush to get home. They got back in the car and drove aimlessly around downtown, looking for something to do. They ended up back in the park where they had met. It had technically closed off half an hour ago, so they hid the car on the tree-covered dirt path and had a place to themselves. It was Evan's idea to go to the playground. Angelo often complained, in jest of course, that Evan was a child trapped in the body of a 17-year-old. They sat on the swings, peering out at the horizon. It was just beginning to turn pink. Evan squinted. Huh. On what? It wasn't supposed to rain tonight, was it? No. It isn't even supposed to rain all week. Their area had been in a state of drought for the past month, and it had never rained enough to so much soak the asphalt. Maybe the dry spell is finally ending. Damn, I hope so. Been going on for too long. Evan started singing a silly rain jingle under his breath, pumping his legs to swing higher. Angelo laughed. You really are a child, Evan. But he swung his legs to catch up, and when Evan jumped off, he jumped up after him. They rolled across the plastic ground together, laughing. Angelo grabbed Evan by the arm, pulling him in for a kiss. I'm definitely glad to be here, instead of with my crazy parents. Yeah, me too. But we better get inside. The black clouds were moving in quickly, and they were black. They were so thick and black that the sky was quickly disappearing beneath them. The wind was picking up too. Oh, it looks like it's gonna be a storm. They picked themselves up, clasping hands as they ran back into the direction of the car. Suddenly, Angelo stopped. Evan jerked to stop along with him, stumbled, stubbing both his big toes on the sidewalk. Ah! Hey man, what's that for? Angelo pointed up the street in front of them. Evan turned. There was a figure walking slowly towards them. Man or woman, he couldn't tell, but it was definitely tall. Lanky too, almost too lanky. In the twisty shadows of clouds, he or she barely appeared human. Shit. What do you think, security? Park ranger? Maybe. Hey man, hey, we were just leaving. Look, we're sorry, we're just about to go. The figure was close enough for the boys to make out who it was, and he said, I'm not security. A woman, near 6 feet tall, quite skinny, in a curly bob and strawberry colored lipstick that gave her the appearance of a 1920s flapper in 21st century clothes. And her clothes were nice, Evan noted. The dress she wore, same color as her lipstick, must have cost $100, and her rings even more than that each. What was the woman like her doing in some inner city park at night? The woman was tight-lipped, observing the two boys as if afraid they were going to rob her. Angelo sensed her worried, if worry was what this is about, and held up his hands. Look, we don't want to cause any trouble, lady. I swear we were just leaving. Then the woman smiled, shaking herself. Oh, I know. I was looking for directions. I'm a bit lost. Can you boys give me a ride? She blinked several times, patting her eyelashes in an awkward fashion. The boys gave each other one of the silent communication glances that only couples can manage. They had realized two things at the same time in sync. One, this woman was flirting with them. Also, subconsciously, even grabbed Angelo's hand again, hoping to deter her efforts. And two, something about her was shady. She looked entirely too rich to be without a car and needing a ride, and her flirting was forced. Strange. It was like she had never flirted with anybody before, and was imitating a base idea of what human mating rituals were. Evan felt uneasy, too uneasy to speak. Angelo wasn't speaking either. It was like he was in a trance, as if the woman had hypnotized him. Without another word, they ran to their car, feeling a strong need to escape from something. They felt the same need as they climbed into the car, peeling out of the parking lot. Did that really feel, I don't know, wrong to you too? Yeah. It didn't at first, but now? God, now it feels like... He slammed his hands on the wheel, shrugging helplessly. There was no way to describe how either of them felt. I think we should call the police. Why? I don't know. I just have a feeling. I think she might be a serial killer or something. That's really paranoid, Angelo. But he couldn't help thinking of the pastor's words for a brief second. they will first come in the form of humans. More people were out on the sidewalks, on the streets, enjoying the evening, and every once in a while, Evan would meet one's eyes, get the same uneasy feeling. Not everyone, just the one odd person. In the end, the boys felt too nervous to go home. Angelo drove Evan to his home, sneaking him in via downstairs window. Dad's at work. Works night shifts. They sat on the couch in the den, the television playing some documentary that neither of them were paying attention to. Both boys on their phones. Evan's eyes kept drifting to the time. It had been 7:30 when they arrived at the house. Now it was getting on towards 8. I should go home, he said half-heartedly, and didn't move from his spot on the couch. But you're not going to. No, I'm not. So, what are you going to tell your parents when you eventually do go home? Evan was silent for a long time. Angelo? Yes? You know we do this every weekend. I'm running out of excuses for why I keep disappearing on Saturday nights or Sunday afternoons. Yeah? I just think, I don't know, maybe I should tell my parents about everything. About, me. About us. You're joking. I'm not joking, Angelo. Look, your parents will throw you out their house. You know that. They will throw you out. After a long minute of silence followed, we could run away. Run away? You haven't even finished high school. We'd figure something out. Then they started getting playful. He giggles. Stop it, you. Then abruptly, he stiffened. Evan, look out the window. Evan did. Outside, it was perfectly black. Gale winds beat against the window panes, and flashes of scarlet, like red lightning, appeared sporadically across the darkened sky. They will bring with them storms, Evan thought, and disasters. He shook himself. It was a ridiculous thing to think, wasn't it? Then, from outside, distant and all too close at the same time, came a very loud boom, and a much brighter flash of light in a color that Evan couldn't quite determine. If such a thing were possible, he would have sworn it was pure black, darker even than the sky, and glowing with light at the same time. What the hell's going on? The demons. Demons? Oh, come on, Ev. You can't honestly tell me you believe that. I don't think, but the woman, Angelo. That woman from the park. What are you talking about? That's why she made us so nervous. It makes sense now. It makes total sense. She would have killed us. Evan, calm down. Look. They will come first in the form of humans. It makes sense. The gates have opened. It makes sense. He couldn't contain the stream of words pouring out of his mouth. He was simply too panicked. Evan, calm down. The lights began to flicker. The house began to shake. Evan pulled a heavy Bible off the living room shelf. The basement. Go into the basement. Evan? Evan ignored him. He ignored him even as he kept calling his name. He ran into the basement, didn't turn on the lights, tripped, and ran into several walls. He threw himself down on the concrete floor, hugging the Bible chest. His phone rang. Evan answered it. knowing it was probably his parents not caring at all. His mother's voice came through statically and distorted. Evan? Evan, where are you? I'm hiding, Mom. Where are you? We holed up in the church, Evan. It's safe here. They won't come near us. The house shook again, buckling with a loud crack. What's going on, Mom? It's them, Evan. Those things the preacher talked about. They're here. We're safe in the church, son. They can't get in here. Crack. And a crash. Mrs. Harding's voice broke. Oh, Evan. Evan, why did you leave? Why did you leave? Her voice flickered out as darkness leaked into the house. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of our story.